What's good, Commanders fans? This was for the first team. The first team offense. I thought the first team defense had moments, and Frankie Louvu didn't jump off sides like it was the tush push. I think they probably would have actually got off the field because they were getting after Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow had to do like a silent count. He was covering his ears and whatnot. So I guess it was that loud at the stadium. So it was a decent crowd, not a lot of people, but for a Monday Night Football game preseason, I thought it was a solid crowd in the first quarter. But yeah, we came out guns a blazing, man. We put foot on necks on the offense side of the ball. C-Rod with a 40-yard run. I think that's the longest. I think that run was longer than what any run that Brian Robinson has had in his career. It doesn't count because it's a preseason run, but to just see that by a running back was perfect. The offensive line did a heck of a job. That's without Sam Cosmi. That's without who's the other guard? Brandon Coleman. Without Laramie Tunzel. I thought the offensive line did a great job for Jaden. Jaden, of course, is Houdini. He scored on that run for a touchdown. Debo Samuel looked in shape. Debo did not look fat on that run at all. He looked like he shot out of a cannon on that first down run. Cliff was dialing up. Excuse me. Bill had a great run. Bill played well. Jaden was getting involved. He got the game ball or got that touchdown ball from the ref and gave it to Bill. So just the team camaraderie was great from the first team. I thought they were awesome tonight. Jaylin Lane had a couple nice catches too. But that first drive was just like, how long was that drive? Like, I got to look up the play-by-play. Like, that drive was like 5 seconds long. Like 1 minute long, if that. That was the quickest touchdown drive. That's without Terry McLaurin. That's without Noah Brown. And they were rolling on all cylinders. So I just love that with a passion. Jaden, perfect night. They got him up out of there. He had his grill on the bottom teeth. Had his chains on, diamonds dancing and whatnot. He did what he was supposed to do. Go in there untouched, score a touchdown, get up in there, and get up out of there, basically. That's what he did. I'm trying to see how long that drive was for. 1 minute and 51 seconds. 4 plays, 74 yards. 1 minute, 2-minute drill, basically. 2-minute drill. And that's what Cliff does. That's what Jaden does. That's when you have a star quarterback like that, it can put pressure on the defense. It just makes stuff so much easier, man. You can see how scared that Bengals defense was out there, for sure. We ultimately lose the game 31-17. The score doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Special teams still has stuff to work on. Like the punt coverage was not great. Kickoff coverage was not great again by Larry Izzo, and just the special teams coverage and whatnot. But I love the pressure that the defense had. Yes, they gave up a touchdown to Chase Brown on that 4th and goal. Was it 4th and goal or 3rd and goal? 4th and goal. I think Quan Martin had made a tough tackle. But I thought they got pressure on Joe Burrow, man. I thought Dorrance Armstrong was getting back there. Dedrick Wise, even though he got that penalty, he was getting pressure. Jacob Martin was getting pressure during the game. He got pressure on the backup quarterback. Who else was getting in the mix? Andre Jones got in the mix a little bit defensively. We're getting some pressure. He got a sack. Who else got in there? He got a sack. But Dorrance Armstrong had a half a sack. Jacob Martin had a half a sack. Like they were really getting after Joe Burrow. It was to the point where I was like, y'all better take Joe Burrow up out of there because we're getting pressure on him every time. Like Joe Witt Jr. is doing a great job. Either guys are just not getting open down the field or they're just getting pressure. And that was with some of the starters in there too, like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That was when Joe Burrow like just ran around like it was backyard football and he got hawked down. So I thought the defense for some parts had some good moments, but of course the rails fell off kind of like during the game, like some missed tackles, not being able to slow down the run game. The one guy, Taj Brooks, he had 11 carries for 47 yards, so he didn't have a crazy game, but he had a cutback for like 14 yards. And Kendall Milton had a few runs where he was gashing us a little bit, not much though. Yeah, my phone cut off on me. I'm trying to remember where I even left off at. Basically, let's just start off with like I said, C-Rod, JCM played really well. Adam Peters was probably smiling and just, laughing at the decision that he made. Or not laughing, but just like, yeah, he made the right decision. I know it's just one preseason game, but he's like, yeah, I got some dogs and I made the right decision to move forward with C-Rod and JCM. I still don't 100% just agree with. Most likely they're going to release Brian Robinson. I don't think you're going to get a trade. I don't think you're going to get a pick back. Maybe a 7th round pick at best or a 6th at best. But I know Adam Peters watching was like, yeah, man, he definitely felt validated seeing C-Rod just scamper up the field for a 40-yard run for a touchdown. And then you see JCM have a 27-yard run for a touchdown. Both were in the first, second quarter. So that was great to see from the run game. And then quickly, of course, you transition to Sam Hartman and Josh Johnson. Both those guys did not play well. They both threw interceptions. Josh Johnson was 6 for 9, 56 yards. Sam Hartman 4 for 10, 29 yards, and an interception. Now, Sam Hartman, they took him out, and then they put Josh Johnson back in, and then they put Sam Hartman back in. And then the Bengals had like a 10-minute drive that resulted in a punt, which is just crazy. Mitchell Tinsley, my goodness gracious, Mitchell Tinsley mossed Carlin Vidgers, and he mossed Bobby Price like in back-to-back drives. Because Sam Hartman threw the interception, and then either Browning or whoever the backup quarterback for Joe Burrow threw it up there to Mitchell Tinsley, and Mitchell Tinsley did what he does in the preseason. He is a preseason legend. We saw what he did for us against the Bengals a couple years ago, and that's how he made the team as that 6th or 7th receiver. And now he's on the Bengals doing what he's doing. He's balling. He's cooking. So he deserves a roster spot over there. I was joking around. I said we should trade Brian Robinson for Mitchell Tinsley, and he can get that last spot. Now, thinking about the receivers, like who emerged in this game. Jaylin had a great game. He had an and one catch. He had a great catch. And one, it was a pass interference, and he still caught it. Then he had a nice route run, or a nice route that he ran and had a nice catch on another play. He led us in receiving with 3 catches for 42 yards. It's just tough to evaluate the receivers when the quarterback play is not great. Chris Moore, I did not see him out there. KJ Osborne did have a catch for 9 yards. Big Play Tay had a catch for 15 yards, which is really good. Ja'Cory Brooks had a catch for 7 yards as well. Ja'Cory, they did leave him in there a little too long for my liking. He is light. He does need to bulk up just a little bit. Now, he's super light, so I'm not going to say bulk up, but, you know, they were hitting him hard. They weren't ragdolling him, but, you know, you can see how light that he is for sure. Let me go to my notes here. We'll wrap it up. Trey Amos didn't play, so that was interesting. I don't think they announced an injury or anything like that, but I guess they're trying to hide him, like people were saying Terry McLaurin was hit a couple years ago by Jay Gruden, so that could be the case. But I really wanted to see Trey Amos go up against Jamar Chase. They did call a pass interference on Noah I on Jamar Chase. He did tug his jersey, so they're going to give that to Jamar Chase. He just has the star power. It's just like a superstar in the NBA getting to the free throw line. Like, he's always going to get that call. It was a pass interference, though. It was. Quan Martin had a good tackle on that 3rd down before they scored the first touchdown with Chase Brown. Trey Amos not playing. Debo end around. C-Rod good run. Jaden Daniels run for a touchdown. Joe Witt Jr. cooking. These are just my notes. Basically a 20-yard sack that we had on Joe Burrow. I talked about that. Percy Butler had a nice tackle. Dietrich Wise with that horse collar penalty. It was a little iffy, possibly debatable, but it was a horse collar. So I understand the call. It's just unfortunate because he made a good play, but he just wasn't able to finish without doing a horse collar. So it's unfortunate. That would have been like another 15-yard loss for Joe Burrow there if he did a horse collar. Joe Burrow to Charlie Jones on Noah I. I thought Noah I played well, though, for the most part. Jaylin Lane, nice catch. I talked about that. Josh Johnson, he may have had miscommunication. I heard Josh Connolly played well. I got to look back at the tape and see how well he played. Jacob Martin, nice job pass rushing. Browning almost fumbled, and Duke Riley picked it up and ran into the end zone. I forgot who hit his arm, but good job by whoever did that to force the pressure. Sam Hartman interception. It was just not a good interception. It wasn't. I can't make any excuses like I did in that first game where I just thought that guys were dropping passes. This game, he was just erratic and did not play well. Big Play Tay made that play on 4th down. That was a great catch by Big Play Tay. Number 48 had a good tackle on a 3rd and 1. Andre Jones got a sack. Sheldon Day pushed the guard back on that 3rd down play as well to get the sack on whoever the backup quarterback is for the Bengals. And then Sam Hartman threw a pass to Michael Gallup on 3rd and 16. It was incomplete. And then Cliff just wanted to get it over with on the next drive. He ran a read option on 3rd and 14. It just wanted to get the game with. So shout out to Cliff for that. Cliff was in his bag today. I love that with a passion. How many rushing yards did we give up today? Lost the game 31-17, but it doesn't really matter because the first team looked really, really good. 3rd down efficiency, the Bengals were 6 for 15. We were 4 for 10, so we were both bad. And the Bengals were 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. 85 yards passing today, which is just awful. It's really bad. Interceptions thrown 2. We were sacked 0 times. We gave it 87 yards on the ground, which is a big improvement from last week for sure. We had 185 yards on the ground. 7 penalties, which is an improvement. We had 16 penalties last week, or 13, which is awful, and we only had 7. But just got the backup quarterbacks. We lost the time of possession 37-22. So like I said, I'm not looking into, a whole bunch of analysis of why we lost and won the game. And less people crashed out than last week. Like, a lot of people were crashing out last week over the performance, which was definitely warranted. But some people were like crashing out in a way where like they really thought we were gonna lose or like not make the playoffs or something like that. Just really crashing out. So, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'll do studs and duds tomorrow and go a little bit more in depth after watching the game back and stuff like that, watching some tape and things like that. But those are my major takeaways. Jaylin looked good. He didn't throw a pass. He looked good running and handing the ball off. And the girl in the chain, Debo looked darn good. Jaylin Lane looked darn good. Connerly looked good. The offensive line, the first team offensive line looked good. And Marshawn Lattimore, I didn't see his name called at all, so I guess he did a good job. And Will Harris made a few nice plays as well. And Brian Robinson, we'll see in the next couple of days. I want to see who is picking up the phone or who has any interest in Brian Robinson. Especially after watching tonight, I think his stock kind of went down a little bit as far as like getting a pick back. It didn't really matter, I guess, whatever happened tonight, but it's like it just shows that they can we'll be fine without him for sure. And I like B-Rob, I do. I'd rather keep him than let him leave, but I think we'll be fine without him for sure. There are some practice notes here. They're doing the press conference right now. It says Dan Quinn shared that he and Adam Peters met with Brian Robinson Jr. yesterday. Mentioned there are a lot of moving parts. Wanted to let the team know what was going on because that's how he does business. So, all right, y'all. I know Terry talked about. Jaden talked about Terry because they asked him about it. I think like Lisa Salters asked him about it. I'm not sure what he said, but I know Bobby Wagner was laughing on the sideline and Mikey Samerson were laughing and joking with Jaden a lot. Jaden and Bobby was joking with Von Miller a lot on the sideline too. So, but all right, you guys, as always, Hell Commanders, peace.